Hi, you guys. Sarah Pacaro. I'm excited to be bringing up this topic today of boundaries. Boundaries are things that we all need to maintain a healthy lifestyle, but a lot of us find it really hard, really difficult to set boundaries. I hear that a lot of times from my clients, but Sarah, it's just so hard. I feel bad. I feel bad setting a boundary and saying no. I feel guilty. So this video today about why it's so hard to set boundaries is to have you understand that and give you some things that you can do to help make it easier and not so hard, and to learn the power of the two-letter word being no. No is the easiest and most simple boundary that we can use, because chances are that you are a yes person. Who you are is a person who can barely get the word no out of your mouth without going choking on it. So you might be that yes person, because yes people have this zest for life. They say yes for everything. They crave experience and they love helping. They love helping people and they love connection as much as they hate letting someone down. And they think that saying no is a letdown, because when our default is yes, we might end up putting like a time squeeze on things, the things that can truly make us thrive. So there's research and studies out there that show that when we align with our behaviors, our behaviors with our values, we're more likely to flourish. We're more likely to grow and feel a whole sense of accomplishment, achievement. We're more likely to get that good life. And it's a term characterized by people who study mindfulness, connection, and the impact on our lives that we have, the quality of our lives. So with this said, why is it so hard for some people to set boundaries? Well, oftentimes when you take a look deeper, it signifies a deeper value set. If you're the type that always wants to be there for people that you care about, it's because you value relationships, you value connection. If you're the person at work who says yes to every project and you've got this pile on your desk this high, it reflects a value. You value learning and you value opportunity. But when you only say yes and you don't have no in your vocabulary, chances are you are missing out on some chances to invest your time and your energy in ways that really can take your values and your goals to new levels, because you're just so spread thin. So in my clients' therapy sessions, we focus on this. A lot of people have this, like there's this fear of saying no. And there's a couple reasons why they have that fear. Well, first of all, they have FOMO, the fear of missing out. So the thought of missing any kind of opportunity by saying no is the thought of missing out on fun, recognition, growth, or anything that leads to this good feeling, right? We're always craving feeling good. So what that can do, though, however, is catapult you into this overcommitment, just always saying yes, perpetually on this quest for this experience that we're going to have yes, 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 and we're spread very thin. What FOMO does is it reflects a desire for excitement, a desire for connection, adventure, relationships, mobility, whatever it is. On a healthy day, you can learn to engage in very dynamic ways, but operating on this extreme of always saying yes can lead to a lot of chaos, a lot of heartache, frustration, confusion, a lot of just resentment. And very little time to be selective and intentional about your activities and how they relate to those core values and those long-term goals that you have set and you want to accomplish and achieve. Another reason why people find it really difficult to set boundaries is because they're paralyzed by perfection. So they'd rather just eat that stress than let someone down. So if you have a difficult time setting boundaries, you want to bring your absolute best to everyone and everything that you set out to do. And you believe that saying no might be a sign of weakness, that you can't handle it, right? Or a sign of like moral failing. You feel that at your core, you're a failure if you can't do this or take on this one more task, one more project. So on a healthy day, your consciousness will serve you well and say, hey, you've got a lot going on. You don't have time for this other thing. Or hopefully you've got relationships or friendships that kind of keep you in line and in lane and in check. But when you take it too far and you become obsessed with this performance and you become obsessed with saying yes and that FOMO and that perfectionism, you end up with a high sensitivity to mistakes and any feedback that is anything but glowing, right? And when you begin to take on too much, you're going to start to minimize the effectiveness of everything that you do. So that feedback you get is not going to be glowing. This can lead to impulsivity of saying yes just to people please or to try to redeem or try to prove yourself. It's like, whoa, wait, let me give it another shot. Let me try again. I can do it. I swear this time, right? You're always trying to get it perfect and you're always spread so thin. Another reason why is possibly because social conditioning. This is true, especially if you're a woman. Often our identities are tied up in how much we're doing for other people, and we're doing so much for other people, but not giving ourselves that same time, attention, and energy. This is true for women who are, working and we're working full time and they're raising kids and they're also a wife and they're also running like moms groups or community groups or whatever it is. There's so much going on. And it's kind of expected of them to just be able to like say yes and say yes with a smile on their face and not show that they're worn down, that they're tired or exhausted or they can't do it anymore. So imagine Yes Man, that movie with Jim Carrey in it, and too many yeses can just leave you overwhelmed, drained, exhausted, and just wanting to isolate from everyone and everything. And what it really does is keep you missing out on the greater opportunity to stay focused on the kind of goals that you have that will really help you thrive and flourish and just really truly love what you're doing in your life. So here are some ways to develop healthier boundaries. The first thing you want to do is define what's most important to you. You want to write down, you want to get out a journal or notebook, and you want to write down what those core values are. And then notice how they're showing up in your daily life. So get your notebook and just write my core values. And maybe it's family, maybe it's friends, maybe it's community or whatever it is. Just write those down and then take a look at this bigger picture, right? You may notice that what you're doing when you really step back and see where you're spending your time and how it aligns with those core values, that all you're doing is just trying to save the day for everyone. You're saying yes to everything and you're saying no to those less important things, and you want to get to very saying yes to those things that matter most to you, the things that align with your core values, and saying no to those, those smaller things, those less important things. And then buy yourself time. This is a phenomenal tool to use when you have a difficult time saying no. If someone comes and asks you something and you feel that compulsiveness and that, uh, ugh, and you just want to say yes, but in your mind, it's like, no, 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 you can't, right? Ask for time. Ask for time to consider the request and then go back to your values and ask, like you feel that, oh gosh, I just feel like I have to say yes. And pull out your values and ask yourself, is this the right fit in the moment? Is there a sense of urgency, or will this opportunity come up again? Like, I don't have to do it right now. This is something comes like once a month or once a quarter or whatever. If I don't do it now, that's okay. I'll get a chance to do it again in the future. If someone is requesting a favor of you, will they be willing to help you out down the road when and if you need it? Or is this a person who's always asking you to do something and never helping you out in return? So take a look at that. Take a look at this commitment and how it will infringe on your ability to properly engage in self-care practices. Is it going to impact your sleep, your ability to exercise or meditate, your you time? Because oftentimes that's where we take this time and energy from, is our own me time. And then we have nothing there and we try to pour from an empty cup. And you can only do that for so long. So ask yourself, by looking at this, what is the added value of engaging this, like the pros and cons? What are the potential risks and the potential benefits? And does this commitment, if I say yes, align with my values and goals? And then practice saying no. I love mirror work for this. So practice saying no, 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 no. And if that just doesn't feel right inside of you, here are some other ways to say no without feeling like you're being too harsh. Another response could be, that sounds like a great opportunity and I really want to help. Is it okay if I have some time to think about it? If this is a person who cares about you, of course, they're going to say, sure, go ahead, take your time. I need to know by Friday. Say, okay, I'll let you know by Friday. But what you want to do is give yourself that space and time to go to your core values and see if it aligns. Another response could say, I'd love to, but I'm already overcommitted and I won't be able to give this the time and attention that it deserves. So, I appreciate you asking, but I can't right now. Or you could say, I can't now, but I might be available in a couple weeks. Would you mind, checking back in with me if you still need help? Another thing you can say is, it's really hard for me to say no. Oh, but I have to this time. The secret to setting boundaries is giving yourself permission to truly live in alignment with your values and not everyone else's demands and agendas. And that's what's happening, is that they're putting their demands and agendas on you. You cannot say yes to everything and still stay healthy. So please remember that. Your goal is that you want to stay healthy. You want your internal world to be healthy and your external world to be healthy as well. So I hope you have found this video helpful in regards to understanding boundaries and why you might have such a difficult time saying no. I do work with people using hypnosis and rapid transformational therapy. If this is a really severe issue for you, there is something else going on deeper, something internally more subconscious, right? If it's a really conscious problem for you to be able to say no easily or use one of those alternatives that I shared at the end of this video, then there may be something going on more deeply, more internally. And if you want to remove and extract that so that you can have these phrases and use them easily to set healthy boundaries, I would love to connect with you and talk more about hypnosis and about rapid transformational therapy, going within and creating that loving inner change that you desire. But thank you guys. There's more links in the description below this video if you're looking to connect and talk more about working one-on-one.